Let's now address and shift focus to what's happening within Fortis HealthCare. They're looking to divest their entire 62.7% stake in Fortis Malar for 128 crore rupees. So let me welcome on board Dr. Ashutosh Raghuvanshi, the MD and CEO at Fortis HealthCare, joining in at the show right now. Dr. Raghuvanshi, great to have you once again on ET Now. Tell us, what's the rationale behind this divestment?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to correct that we are not divesting our stake in the entity. We are doing a business in Chennai as well. So we are rationalizing our portfolio. Some of the markets where performance was not very good for various reasons and which are not core to our core clusters where we are present, we had decided that it may be prudent to get out of those clusters and focus on our growth in the clusters where we have a better performance.
Good morning, Dr. Raghuvanshi. Firstly, always a pleasure to connect with you. Is this largely in line with your thought that you want to focus in North and you want to perhaps exit your non-North and West investments?
So we have some identified clusters, Nikunj. North is, of course, a focus area, but other than that, the NCR, Punjab, Calcutta and nearby areas, West, Mumbai and surrounding areas, and Bangalore are our identified clusters where we want to expand further. And these are the areas where we are going to consolidate. And within that strategy, we have earlier in the year completed an acquisition of one of the facilities in Gurgaon to strengthen our presence here further. So this is a continuation of the strategy which we had made earlier.
What happens now? Will you delist Fortis Malar from the exchanges?
So there are necessary approvals which we are waiting for, shareholder approval, etc., for this transaction. Post that, we will take the necessary steps for which are best for the shareholders of Fortis Malar. So currently, all the options are on the table. We are going to evaluate what is the best possible option for and what best value we can provide to the shareholders of Malar. Post that, we will take that decision.
Light of what is happening at the court for IHH open offer, how easy it will be for you to actually come up with an alternative option for shareholders of Fortis Malar?
Yes, that will be a little bit of kind of issue where we will have to decide. And that is precisely the reason why we have not taken the final decision as to what direction we would take. But our intention is very clear that the benefit should be passed on to the shareholders of Malar, and whatever is the best mechanism to do that is what we are going to choose. As you know, that there's an outstanding MTO, etc. So all those considerations will have to be kept in mind.
Is of the view that the trigger point for Fortis is going to be ultimately based on what comes from the court in terms of the open offer. So apart from this open offer, what else are the triggers for Fortis shareholders now?
Yes, so Fortis essentially is on track with the strategy which we had made in terms of rationalizing our portfolio. We are on track with the expansion, brownfield expansion, which we have been talking about. So within this financial year, we will have about 200 beds added in Ludhiana, Calcutta, and also in BG Road in Bangalore. In the coming year, we would have more than 450 beds added. And apart from this, we will also be commissioning by the end of this financial year the 300 plus bed Manesar facility as well. And in the following year, in 25-26, we expect to add about close to 700 beds. So this would be a total of about 1,800 beds addition. So I think what is the trigger for Fortis Healthcare is the expansion in our facilities and consolidation of these existing operations.
So your guidance of debt reduction, margin improvement, growth, everything is intact, irrespective of what is happening at the court?
Absolutely. As you know that, our debt current levels currently are very healthy. Debt to EBITDA ratio is only 0.29x. So we have been continuously about net debt is about 393 crores. So that is been gradually coming down. And all these expansions, mind you, are going to be taken care of by internal accruals and some degree of debt, but it would be minimal and the ratios would be maintained at similar levels as currently. So I think our guidance in terms of growth is absolutely intact, and it is irrespective of the legal issues. The operation and the legal issues have to be looked at very differently. As far as day-to-day operations of the company are concerned, we are doing very well, and I think we expect to improve our EBITDA percentages also as we go forward, and we rationalize our network and take some cost-related measures. At the same time, we are dealing with the legal issues also, and we are very hopeful that they will also get resolved in a reasonable time frame.
When we spoke about SRL, it was the jewel in the crown. Post-COVID, margins had expanded, growth has expanded, testing services had gone up. Times have changed. Now, diagnostic sector growth has come down to 12 to 15%. Is SRL now in a low growth phase now? When I say low growth phase, relative to what it was 3 years ago?
Nikunj, as you might be aware that we have started the process of an IPO. We have filed a DRHP, and as a result of that, I cannot really comment on the business of SRL or rather Agilus as such. But I would have to say that the diagnostic industry has seen a kind of a phase where there was a lot of pressure from the new age entrants. But I believe that is gradually getting settled and a new normal will emerge. But specific to Agilus, I will not be able to comment further.
Raghuvanshi, have to ask you about this respiratory surge of pneumonia, which is currently, ongoing in China. I mean, of course, Indian authorities have said that they are monitoring the situation very closely. Anything to get alarmed about just yet?
At the moment, no. The travel advisories have been issued by the government. But what I was reading in the newspapers today, and that's the only information I have, is that the pneumonia levels have started coming down in China. But certainly this is the season when the respiratory illnesses increase, and we have to be guarded about not getting into closed spaces with crowded spaces, etc. So the general precautions must be followed because this is the season for flu and other respiratory illnesses.
Fingers crossed on that one. Dr. Raghuvanshi, great to have you on the show as always. Thanks for taking the time out.
Thank you.
Okay, let's